breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells you when Mike leaves you rain. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation pride.
All right, everybody, good morning. We are on Monday. That was footage from Hurricane Ida back in it's Ida 21. Now I'm all confused. Shelly, when was Hurricane Ida? Anyway, a lot of this video was expecting unexpected, like this flooding here. The next morning, Ida made landfall. Everybody thought it was over, and all this water started falling down. And this is Laplace. Anybody from Laplace? Water rescues at night. Totally unexpected. 23. Thank you, Shelly. 23. Thank you, everybody. God, what the hell did I do in 21? I storm chased in 20, didn't I? I don't know. I've been storm chasing a lot of years. 2020, I started traveling. 23 was Ida. I was off by 2 years. What's up with that? Usually pretty good about stuff like that. Because it's Monday. Oh, my timer's all messed up. Oh, well. There we go. All right. No, Ida was 21. Okay, it was 21. I was right. Shelly, you're the one that needs coffee. I dare you. It's the darn ice storms. I dare you. Perry, 23. Ida, 21. See, I was right. I should always go with your... I always learned this in college. You always go with your first instinct. In high school, too. Any kids out there? Usually your first instinct is correct. Right, Sheila? Right. So, anyway. It's the ice storms. We had ice storms out the yin-yang. Irma, 17. Well, anyway, we got that all squared away. That was Ida in 21. Louisiana. That was the infamous La Quinta Hotel incident. And the car wash incident when I left and it got destroyed. No more ice storms. We're going to retire eyes. Anyway. Well, good morning, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. We're going to talk weather. Countdown to hurricane season. It's on its way. We're in April. We had our big Colorado State University predictions last week. And official forecast slightly, well, they're not official, kind of official. Above average hurricane season, which if you watch the Daily Brew, been talking about that. I totally agree with that based on a few things, but lack of El Nino means we're going to have more push west, and that means more Caribbean and possibly CONUS. What the hell's CONUS mean? CONUS. Sounds like a frozen drink. CONUS. I would love to have a bar with all tropical. Have a bar named the Sand Bar or the ISO Bar. And have dreams like CONUS. The MJO. I'd like an MJO. So where's everybody coming in from around the country here? Let's say hi for a few minutes, then we go right into it. Northport, we know where that's at. Bowman, what are you doing down in Northport? You know they race down there a couple places, Robert Bowman. Hey, by the way, I got to do a big shout out. I was at the UCP of Central Florida's big celebrity poker tournament the other night. Had the most awesome time. Met some amazing folks here. They had a bunch of celebrity guests. This guy named Mike, I hung out a lot with Michelle here, and her husband. It was so fun. We bluffed each other a couple times. I didn't even know what I was doing, and I won a bunch. I got tired of winning. But it was a great an event. UCP does so much for kids. I learned so much, especially UCP of Central Florida. An amazing organization. They have tons of schools and help thousands of families and kids, all kinds of kids, special needs kids, families. So they do so much for the community, and I was glad to help a little bit. So thanks for inviting me and putting me and Philip in a room. That was a lot of fun, and definitely appreciate the hospitality here. So let's put the satellite on when we say hello. Let's put the radar on. That's current. We've been having tornado warnings. I'm going to show you. We've had tornado warnings popping in and out of Georgia here all morning long, and this line is only going to get stronger today. So if you live across that Panhandle region currently, I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But I want to see where everybody's from, right? Vicky NSB, New Smyrna Beach, Fort Myers, Maria. What's happening? Getting toasty down there. You're probably already in the 80s in Fort Myers. Kate down at Cape Coral. Sheephead, or you're fishing, William. Awesome. Are you the best captain? Or what did that guy say? William Moats, are you the best captain? Yeah, I put that post out the other day because I boat. If you've been following my third page, you know we have a boat. We've been boating for 20 years. So it was a little more personal to me because, you know, one day Emily's going to be boating, and I'm like, God, what if something like that happened to her? But anyway, we had tons of answers. 3,000 comments. Monticello, 2 people from Monticello typed in. Your population in Monticello is 3, and 2 of y'all just posted. Cheryl and Jeanne. I love your little town, by the way. Yulee, Florida, Bill. I know where that's at. That's another little town. So we drove, after I went to that charity event, came home, went down to West, we had a softball tournament in Indian River. I was so sad the Yeehaw Junction hotel or whatever that was is gone. That was where that semi truck, I guess, hit it one time. So Yeehaw Junction has changed. A lot of places down there aren't there anymore. So Gary, boat on down to Inglewood. Now that we might. Got a little bigger Sea Ray coming. We had a deck boat for a lot of years, and now that we're going to be hanging out on the intercoastal side, we needed a little bigger bow. Got tired of getting beat up out there on the little flat bottom boat. Going out to the sandbar, it was like boom, boom. So anyway, what else we got going on? Largo, hey, second chance sailing. Another Monticello, 3 of y'all. So the whole population of Monticello's in the chat. We had 1 on YouTube and 2 on Facebook. John B. and Oldsmar. What's up, Teresa? Summerfield, how's it going? Tabitha down in Venice. Niceville. Judy, we got a brew crew over there in Niceville. There it is. Shelly got it right. Tornado, yes. I'm going to show you all. We've had a lot of tornado warnings already. This is current satellite already showing South Georgia, Southeast, or Southwest Georgia tornado warning. All right, let's take a look at the radar before we say goodbye. Look, 9:30. Look. Well, at 9:30 went quick. We usually try to say hello for a few minutes. All right, so one last shout out here. Storm season coming. Storm should be how many days away? Where's my little link at? Storm season starts. There it is right there. All right. There's our countdown. If you're really into countdown to hurricane season, everybody always asks me, how many days of hurricane season? Well, here you go. It's 54 days. Doesn't mean anything. It means we might get a storm in May. Could mean we get a big storm. Might not happen until September. But, hey, official season starts June 1st. So if you're curious, that's 54 days away. I got a great bunch of stuff I'll be posting here in the weeks ahead from our friends at Storm Smart. They make amazing products here in Florida. Not just Florida, but a lot of you all on the west central side see their vehicles driving around all the time. They make great hurricane protection for your windows and patios, and incredible technology, Bluetooth, motorized. I went down to the showroom. It was amazing. So I'll be sharing some of that stuff for you, but really cool stuff. Great people, great owners. And I'm looking forward to showcasing some of their hurricane protection for homes. As a lot of their products went through Ian and did phenomenal, real test products. So 54 days. All right. Hurricane Karen. Yeah, that was a nice little post, right? Forgotten Bay oysters. Were you up there in the northeast somewhere? Hurricane Expo in Cape Coral Holly. I don't know about that one. I don't know. We got a lot coming up. I do have 3 hurricane locally: Oldsmar, Dunedin, Palm Harbor, and of course the GHC coming up down at the Governor's Hurricane Conference. So this is the current map, by the way. This is crazy because we got flood happening in the light green. We have flood warnings in the dark green. We have crazy cold front on the purple. So freezing temperatures, freeze warnings behind this thing. So pretty strong cold front. Very warm and muggy currently where I'm at because the front's not here yet. So yeah, south of Tally. St. Mark's, that's where my little post from yesterday, remember? St. Mark's. Linda from South Carolina, you got some storms coming later today. Pittsburgh, 35, Rebecca. Oh, man, look at this. Shelly, I didn't even tell you the exciting news. Well, you knew it was coming. But I finally got a new phone. I've been putting this off for 2 years. My old phone has been through about 10 hurricanes. But I never wanted to do it during the season in case I wasn't able to log into anything. But successfully, I logged into everything yesterday. It took me all day. Boland's Grocery, yeah. Old news, yeah. Hey, I got it, but I made it happen yesterday, and it's making all these new noises. So pardon me. I'm not sure yet how to turn them all off. But you know what I'm talking about. When you get a new phone, you have to re-sign in on everything. Everything. You don't realize how many things you're signed in on. Oh, geez, now I got to put it on. Now the phone's mocking me. The slide down's a little different now, so I got to slide on the left and slide on the right. It's like one of them songs. Slide on the left. There we go. There's mute. Okay, we're mute. All right, so anyway, let's talk about the weather. Ramble on enough. All right, what is this? Oh, this is a page of nothing. Here we go. All right. So the current rains have slowly shifted off to the east, and this is crazy, right? Look at this. We have 40 major flood, major meaning it doesn't get any higher, major flood in purple. Okay, these are going to take a week plus, okay? A week plus. All this water that rains, right? It all ends up going down in the rivers. It takes time. All this stuff trickles into the natural veins of the Mississippi Valley here, and a lot of it all ends up in the Mississippi. So what's fascinating is we have 71 in moderate flood, 40 going to major flood. Crazy. But look at this down here. This is yesterday I posted this. Baton Rouge, Mississippi River at Baton Rouge. Now, it's not going to peak until April 21st. That's crazy. Today's April 7th. This is where it's at. 21 feet. It's going to go all the way to 40.7 is the initial. Now this will change a little bit, But 40 foot is considered major flood stage. So the record's 47 foot. But still, it takes all this time for all this water, and then it works itself down the Mississippi. This big old surge of water. It rains up here, and then it all comes down to Mississippi. And 2 weeks later, we have flooding in Baton Rouge because of the rains we just got. So it's crazy to me to think how long the effects remain after a major flooding event like we just saw. Crazy rain, but Jesse, I agree. I did too, man. I avoided a phone, scared to death, but it all went well. So, what's up, Dave Berryhill? Heading to Pigeon Forge. Good for you, man. Having me a fruity Margaritaville drink, man. Yeah. All right, so there's that. What else we got showing up here? There's current satellite showing you lightning. A lot of lightning down in the Gulf, so this is kind of going to be pulling up throughout the day. I just posted we have potential for flooding the Panhandle up into Georgia. All this rain training is coming up, and it's moving very slow. All right, our front's flattening out here, but it's a pretty potent little system down here in the Gulf. Lightning. That's current lightning look. Here's another look at it on Weather Nerds. Just kind of showing you the satellite imagery the last hour, and we got a lot of juice out there still pumping. There's a lot of heat, daytime heating coming, so it's going to get feisty. We're going to see possible tornado watches later today for the Panhandle northward, all right, up into Georgia. God, all these noises. Sorry. Zan from Tallahassee. Cylindra, we'll look at the cruise. Yeah, right, you figured me out, Shelly. No change. Heading on a cruise. We'll look at that. I'm not too sure yet. What's up, Jody? Good morning. All right, so there's that. All right, what else we got? Here's a tornado map. This is a cool website. I have it, of course, on the web. I just closed it. Well, I'll show you where it's at. How about that? All right, down here on yesterday's maps, right here. Yesterday's storm reports. My little pointer won't work. There it goes. Right here. This one right here. Right here. Right. Well, there we go. One more time. I'm clicking too fast. Right there. God. Slow down. Click. There we go. Right there. Tornado stats. Good luck finding it. Anyway, it's tornadohq.com. Tornadohq.com. And it's pretty cool. Let me turn off my ad blocker here. Tornado Tracker app, and it shows you what's active. Tornado warnings today. So we've already had. Look at Georgia. Georgia. We had one in Florida, Jackson, Georgia, Alabama. So it all started here this morning. We had one in Georgia, 6:43, 7:20. 6:32 a.m. Central Daylight Time. That would be 7:32 Eastern. So that's, if you're ever curious, on a map, show me. Has a click out, which is kind of neat. Let's see here. Show me. There we go. That's where it was. These are all the tornado warnings that we've had. So it's kind of neat, right? You can turn off the radar and look at them. These are all the tornado warnings today. Pretty cool, right? So there you go. That's what's happening. That's that line of storms. All right. Storms today. Boom. There we go. That's the latest Storm Prediction Center map we're going to talk about. Good morning, Mary Carroll. Good morning, Loretta Reed. Good morning, Lydia. Anybody go to Ariole's yesterday for the music? Anything? Western Kentucky lives on an island. Oh my God, I know. It's the flooding in Kentucky, McKenna. It's only so slowly going to get worse. Slow, with the Lacoochee River during Milton here in Florida was a month later, and it was still flooding a month after the hurricane. All that water just starts to accumulate and get going. What velocity radar do I use? I love radar scope. I have radar scope on everything. I pay for it. I like radar scope. There's a new one on X I saw some people using, but I'm pretty partial at radar scope. Tornado's been bad this year, David. Yeah, I think we're double what we've. I think I saw a stat that we're at like 400 and some actual tornadoes this year, when we're normally around 200 something. So we're almost double the amount of actual tornadoes this year. And if you want really crazy, now when there's a tornado warning, of course I get everybody getting mad when I post these. Mad! Let's get mad about the weather. Damn you! But tornado warnings don't necessarily mean there was a real tornado, but it means there was still pretty strong storm, regardless. A lot of wind. So regardless of a real tornado or not, it means we had a lot of severe weather. So this little episode last week to now, the amount of tornado warnings that we've had, 477 tornado warnings last week. So red was 96 of those, right there, exactly where the Storm Prediction Center was highlighting all the areas. And this is current, this is today, so obviously we had 5 in this little region. That's crazy though, right? Look at that. 477 tornado warnings. So that's all set by these offices. Now, if we go by state, you can redo it with the state. Might be a little easier to see. Good time to fertilize. You better do it now. Rain's coming today. So here's the amount of tornado warnings the last week. States. So Florida had 1. I think that was this morning's. Maybe more to come though. Arkansas and Tennessee are tied at 94. It sounds like a Final Four game. Arkansas with 94 tornado warnings. Tennessee's had 94 tornado warnings. That's crazy. Severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's take a look at that since we're here. Severe thunderstorm warnings by states. Let's take a look at that. These are going to spread out a little bit more than tornado warnings. Holy cow, man. Look at that. 182 severe. I mean, how many is that? So this doesn't count it. But let's go back to. This gives you actual counts for severe thunderstorm warnings. That's crazy, man. Pouring in Panama City. Top of the morning. Have a mill. Good morning, Jane. Look at this. So we had 1,000 severe thunderstorm warnings. 1,000 in a week. That's crazy. That's got to be a record. So, all right. So here's the storm map for today. This just came out. This is your latest Storm Prediction Center map. Let me refresh it. Yep. All right. So we got a large area in yellow, Florida, North Carolina, for the day today. That's just showing you a skinny old squall line coming through. So right at me here, the green. We were right on the border here in Oldsmar. I might go north a little bit and do a little storm chasing later, maybe. But that's your storm map today to be watching for that squall line. There's a little bit of rain behind the squall line. Squall line itself, the main line out in front is the strong one. And again, if you want to get an idea where it's at, since if you're watching it live, there it is. We got a new tornado warning just popped up. Nope, that was old. Let me refresh. It just went away. Severe thunderstorm warning now and getting close to Tallahassee. Pouring in Panama. This is live radar. But tornado chances today right here, not bad. Meaning not zero. That's probably not the right adjective. Not zero. How about that? Good chance. Not a good chance. There is a good means there is a legitimate chance of tornado warnings today in the Brown. How about that? That's through Tallahassee all the way up. Borderline Savannah towards Columbia, South Carolina. Anybody in the Brown might have a tornado watch today. Okay, so there you go. And it's not zero in the green. We've seen tornadoes surprise people in the green. We got a lot of warmth out there. We got dew points. We got daytime heating. It's pretty hot out there. Let's take a look at that. Temperatures currently. I think the dew points and stuff were already pretty hot. Anything in the 60s, 70s. Dew point is a good measure of Amy Brown asked me that question. I did a lot of homework. I never really thought about it, Amy Brown, if you're watching. But dew point's definitely more of an indicator of muggy conditions. Here's current temperatures now. There's your 70s. There's definite squall line, crazy squall line. But here's your dew points. Already in the 60s and 70s. So anytime you get 70s, there's 71 in Tallahassee, that means storms are going to be popping. We got a lot of PWatt value in the storms. That's a lot of moisture. That's why we got potential flooding going to happen here through the panhandle up into Georgia because of this. A lot of moisture pumping in. So could be some heavy rain right here this afternoon in the red, in the yellow especially. This is heavy PWatt. Anytime you get close to 2 inches, you get a lot of rain in the atmosphere. There's dry air coming in behind it, obviously. There's your dry air tomorrow. Most of this is gone by the morning. Future radar. Let's take a look here. Let's refresh. Future radar. Here you go. All right, so let's just do it in timestamps for everybody. Let's go to noon Eastern. There's your noon Eastern, right smack dab over Valdosta. Tallahassee, Florence there. This is noon today. There's your line throughout the afternoon. Here about 4 p.m. today. Still going to be pretty strong. 4 p.m. Monday. See what's left tonight. 7 p.m. getting close to Ocala, Jacksonville, Savannah, Charleston tonight. 6, 7 p.m. Eastern. Monday. Then it might reach me here overnight. This is about 9, 10 p.m. tonight. So we'll see if there's any lightning. Oh, man, I haven't had a good lightning video in a while out in the Gulf. But there's tonight. Ocala, 10, 11 o'clock. Here's overnight, midnight. So it's going to be reaching the Eastern Carolinas overnight tonight. Here's about midnight. So the Eastern Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina going to get stormy tonight. We'll look at the lightning map here in a second. Here's 5 in the morning, gone for a lot of folks on the eastern seaboard. 6 a.m., a little bit lingers here across Florida. Here's 8 a.m., 9 a.m. This is our storms that might get popping tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center showing some of this more afternoon tomorrow, Tuesday. So there's Tuesday morning right here. Boom, wake up. A little bit lingering. Pretty much gone by 11 noon. We got softball games tomorrow. They asked me for an official report now a couple days ago. So I told them they should be okay. And it kind of just stalls out a little bit tomorrow. That's why we have some storm chances tomorrow in South Florida, because this thing's going to linger. Daytime heating 5, 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And it's going to hang around Bahamas, unfortunately, tomorrow, Tuesday. If you're boating out on the water, that thing just sits there. So that's that in a nutshell. Tornado chances, wind chances, obviously about the same as the yellow. If you ever kind of figured it out, there's your yellow, there's your winds. So there's mainly a wind event with the thunderstorms, and then really no hail. There's really no hail expected. Tomorrow, there's your Storm Prediction Center map for Tuesday. South Florida, Keys, especially down in there in Miami area. Tomorrow, as this thing stalls out. We do have a fire danger today, elevated, nothing level 1, but this is all that dryness ahead of this storm with winds. So here's your fire outlook today, Central Florida. A little something to think about on that. So, Steve, what you got? 3,500. There you go. My God, that's a pretty impressive number there, Steve. Morning, Dave Waters. Getting windy and Jesse. Jesse, which angle's the wind? I bet you it's coming up from the south. Well, we know right here. If you want to know a good wind map, if you want to know where the front's at, I always like to look at the Knoll School site here. And this is lower level winds showing you the approaching front. And look at that. Isn't that fascinating? There's your front. So your winds are going to be coming about the south ahead of this thing. They always get pulled into the fronts. So you know, old timers before weather apps, when it was windy from the southeast here in Tampa, you know the front's getting close. You know a front's coming the day of winds from the south. And here's your winds from the north coming in from the top. That's cold air. 30s over here, Judy told me, in Texas. This morning, 33 in Texas. Crazy, right? Speaking of temps, let's kind of show you what's going on. Southeast, so your lows tomorrow, there's your front, 50s, 40s, 30s. Wednesday's the coolest day, 59 maybe in Tampa. 50s all the way down past Lake Okeechobee. 40s in Tallahassee. 40s way deep down into the upper Gulf there. And we got 30s into Alabama and Mississippi here. 30s into Georgia this Wednesday morning. Slow warm-up comes back, but still, look at this. We still got 50s deep in the state here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Still got some 50s showing. Still got some, look at that. So, pretty good there. High temperatures about the same here. Here's today. Obviously, it's hot because the storms are coming. Monday, middle 90s. All this wind. Look at this. Guess what? Shelly and company. Remember we talk about the high pressure keeping you all cool? Well, guess what? Now the high went this way, right? Now the winds are doing this, and you are not protected by the cool Atlantic waters. You'll be in the 90s today as the storm approaches. Tuesday, high temperatures. There's your little bit of storms down in the South Florida because the fronts pass through tomorrow, Tuesday. Highs of 70s. It's going to be windy tomorrow. Now watch Wednesday. About the same. 70s. Orlando. 79 for Fort Lauderdale, Miami. These are high temps on Wednesday. Upper Gulf in the 60s. And then slow warm up here Thursday and then Friday. There's another little front coming down, I think. Let's take a look at this. Tropical tidbits. Let's take a look. I think there's another little line coming down. Little front coming down Friday. See that little low pressure right here? This little guy? It spins in a little more cooler air after this other one. So, I don't know if we're going to have rain or not, but there it whips through. See it? Boop, little bit of rain maybe on Friday. See that little low comes through? And that's keeping it extra cool for the weekend. So another little cool front. Kind of teasing. Look at that. So highs on Saturday. Barely in the 80s. This is highs on look at highs for Saturday. 60s. Look at that. So that's another little teeny cool front coming through. So hey, it is not the last. We got BOGO a little back to back, keeping things kind of cool, man. I got wood. So Jesse says pool 82. Nope. I am an 88 pool temperature guy. Ebby, what's the question? Good question on the tornado warnings. Radar spotted, particularly dangerous situation. So, yeah, it's confusing. A tornado warning is always first indicated by Doppler, usually, radar. When we have spotters on the ground, they typically will say tornado on the ground, or you can use different parameters in your radar scope, showing debris, and a lot of times, sometimes, oh, now you're dinging me. That was you dinging. Silly. Got such a big screen now, it's crazy. So when there is confirmed tornado, and then the PDS is just when there's a strong signature of a tornado on the ground, pictures, vorticity, coefficients. So any tornado warning, though, should be taken serious. Some have just better signatures on radar, and some have spotters that confirm. Problem with tornadoes, on the ground, it's one thing. They bounce, they dissipate, then they come back. So once you have that organized thunderstorm cell, supercell, especially here, the farther south you go, they bounce. Like they'll be on the ground for a little bit, they'll dissipate, but the supercell structure is still there. The jet stream that's fueling it's still there. Well, then it'll spin up another one. So usually you'll get The same cell will produce multiple tornado warnings as it goes along. So that cell is what you're watching, the motion, usually northeast. But just because it's not on the ground now doesn't mean it won't be on the ground ahead as that cell continues on. So I think, number one alert should be a severe thunderstorm cell that's been known to produce tornadoes. Those are the ones you watch close because at any given time they might pop out another tornado. Long track tornadoes are rare. But you can have a tornado across the street coming by and you get almost nothing, and they lose everything. Whereas a hurricane, you can see them a lot better on radar, and they're there and they're on the ground. And tornadoes are so hard. You almost got to let tornadoes come to you. Like, I'm friends with the best chasers out there, and Fire Pit Vicky, yes. We got several days ahead of that. I'm excited about that. I do like the heat, but I do like to sit out there by a good fire pit. Let's look at some of the anomalies here looking ahead. Just to give you an idea, your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Whoa, that's huge. Right here. There you go. So the next April 12th through 16th, this is the front. Look at that. Below normal for a lot of the East Coast. Below normal doesn't mean like cold. It just means a couple degrees cooler than what it normally is this time of year. Here's your 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, and we kind of get back after the 20th. So, and then your week 3 to 4 outlooks, these change all the time, but basically all the way to May, nobody's going to be cooler than average. And then your global tropics maps, all this stuff. Just seeing if anything stands out. Nothing really stands out. No snow, obviously. Wind across the middle U.S., obviously. East of the Rockies. Precipitation outlooks are kind of low for the southeast. Very low, actually. This isn't good. Precipitation outlooks very low. You can always get an accurate drought map here, drought monitor, kind of showing you where everything's at. Always seems like it's out west below normal. I don't know why, but it always is. And then southeast, got a few areas here across the southeast in D2, a little spot in Carolinas, a little spot here south of the mountains in Carolina and Georgia there, a bunch in Florida. We'll see what a new map comes out on Thursdays. See what that is. So there's that. Severe thunderstorms. Let's see what the maps are showing for that here. Oh, let's see, any spin, a little bit of spin. This is kind of showing you where the most spin in the atmosphere could be. Obviously, where they have the brown is kind of where we're at. There's a stretch here of possible tornadoes, and that's pretty much where the helicity shear indicator is. Supercell composites, Cape here, Cape showing you the energy out at front. Kind of loses some punch as it goes through the state. Hail, we have no hail today on the map, so we're not going to show you that. Supercell composite kind of showing you the storm lines again, stretching all the way up to South Carolina. These could be severe thunderstorms about 5 o'clock. Really not showing much near I-4 north or south, I-4 south. That's kind of why the line dissipates. The low pressure pulls too far north, loses a lot of its punch. Rainfall, let's take a look at forecast that, see if we get anything significant or not. You see where the rains just kind of peter out. I-4 north. Blue's half an inch plus, so anybody about here north might get a half inch plus. Yellow's an inch. So definitely all the way up to Carolina, Virginia there. You get an inch. But then it fades out, and then here it stalls out tomorrow with some storms in South Florida, maybe, but kind of dry north of I-4 South today. Long range weather, I don't know. Let's see. I haven't seen anything really that stands out. Maybe. Let's see. That's a week from. That could be big. That's a week from Sunday, the 20th. This is next Sunday. Week from Sunday, 20th. No, it's 2 weeks from now. We don't go out that far. Gee, that's way too far. But up to then, there's really nothing. Little spinner comes down this weekend, brings a little bit of weather, maybe as it does. 10-13, not that low of a pressure. This is Friday, so we could have a little additional weather coming across, bringing in more cool air. There's GFS showing the same thing. So yeah, we got a secondary little system spinning around. This is Friday, and this is Friday this week. So another little frontal line comes through Friday, backing up that cold air and a little bit of weather for the East Coast. So double whammy. This is Friday into Saturday morning. This is Saturday morning Canadian. So we 100% have a secondary little spinner coming down this weekend, Friday, Saturday morning, right there. Icon showing it too, Friday. So we got another little spinner swooshing down Friday and Saturday, bringing a little cooler weather. So it might be a little increased rain on Friday across the East Coast down into Florida a little bit. No strong storms, though, with that. I don't believe so. What's this saying here? 6. This is not the right link. This link right here. This heavy rain today. That's obvious. That's just the front coming. Heavy snow up in Maine tomorrow. Day 4, day 8. Very little text. Anytime there's little text, there's really not a lot. And you're just talking about this little spinner coming down, little mid-level trough front line, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So quiet for now. Almost made it to 10. We did. Morning, Stacy. Let's say hello to a few folks, and we're going to sign off. Tornadoes during Milton was very, very bad, Holly. Yes, kind of it was always predicted, but I don't think anybody expected them to be as bad as they were. Such a large system is interacting with that jet stream. Cruise, 56 days away. All right, we'll end it with that. June 1st. Oh my God, almost 2 months away. 2 months away. All right. Today's a good day to call Kim. Right here. Boom. Our 4th annual. We're going to sign off after this. There it is right there. 4th annual. It's a write-off. Because we talk weather on the cruise. We have a seminar. A very nice seminar. I love doing these seminars. So if you love weather and you want to hang out with all of your MWP family and party with us like rock stars, family's 100% invited. Come hang out. Brand new ship. I cannot wait. I've never been on one of these big ships before. So we got the balcony overlooking the Central Park. Got a cabana down at Coco Cay. So anyway, looking out for the community. Good thing. You're welcome. We're always here for you, Jana. Bye, Bonnie. How you doing? Clearwater. Hoping for rain. Beth. A little bit's coming. Not a lot. The Cape Expo. Okay, Holly. I would love to. What else we got? We got our Brew Crew. Yep. Always got perks for that. Join the Brew Crew. Got a great group over there, the diehards. We don't want no storm crews in this trip, Katie. You can save that for one of your alls. Carla Brown, good morning. Have a good day at work. You're welcome, Steve. See you, buddy. Got some. Did it make it to you yet, Steve? Or where did you say your Gulf Shores area, right? So it's probably just had already passed you last night, right? Richard Reamer, good morning. Friday night went awesome, Vicky Hill. Oh my God, I had so much fun. I actually made it top 20 maybe out of a couple hundred. Got burned out, went all in, hoping for a flush. 2 cards to get. I had 4 parts. Said heck with it. I bet it all. Didn't get the flush, but I was tired. A lot of free drinks. Phil was done about 30 minutes before me, and I felt bad. So I'm like, it was a good time. Great charity though, 100% awesome charity. How the hell do they put? How in the world can this be 1 terabyte? That little guy right there. I remember my first disc. I had a floppy disk, then it went to those little hard discs, right? Remember when you had to install a program, you had to actually install it all by disc, like CorelDRAW. You had like 18 those little hard discs. You had to put them all in 1, 2, 3. Then you get a new computer and you had to do it all over again. It was like 18 little hard discs to install. It was nuts. Crazy. I don't miss them days at all. Crazy. All right. Well, anyway, throwback race. I didn't even get to really watch it, David. I heard it was pretty boring though. I was so wore out, man. I drove so much on Saturday. We ended up chilling. Cool. All right. Well, listen. If you ever want to know when we're live again, you can always go to the top of our page here. The next Daily Brew is going to show up Wednesday right here. Our video should show it too, right there. Next Daily Brew. So shouldn't be any confusion. Hope to see you Wednesday. We'll be streaming live every day, Monday through Friday, May 15th, unless I'm out of town. Once that kind of starts officially hurricane watching. So, all right, see y'all Wednesday. Cheers. Stop.